Hey everybody, welcome back to the Quantum Show. It's Friday. I had to do an early show because my schedule for the Muggle world has cut into the regular show time. Sound check, please. Everybody give me a sound check. I'm watching over here and filming over here. So give me a sound check, please. I may cut out for a second. I got to reconnect something here. Okay, I am still on. Okay, thank you, Lynn. All right, welcome back to the Quantum Show. It is Friday. Had to do an early show because Muggle life has taken over for tomorrow. So got to take care of that today. And I actually took a couple of notes on how to stay on topic so I can stay on topic. I want to talk about this missing, lost, now pretty much found submersible, right? Now, it is not, let me just make sure. It is not a submarine. It is a submersible. It is not independently powered and without having to have like sort of a mothership, right? A submarine is completely self-contained. It can go for long stretches, not hours, but days, weeks at a time. So, yeah, okay. That's what I'm going to talk about right now. This is a weird one. The whole atmosphere of this thing is the same atmosphere. When I say atmosphere, I mean the media coverage, the point of this, right? The point to point. They're explaining all this stuff. They're talking about all this stuff. When else did they do this? When's a recent time when they did this? The Las Vegas UFO landing, right? The Las Vegas Incident 2023 Quantum Show called it. And why has it gotten so much coverage? Why did it get, that's the weird part. What are they looking at? Well, I found an article. There was a ship from Greece. I'm going to look at that, right? Oh, I posted on my Facebook. There was a ship from Greece carrying 800 refugees, and it sank about the same time. They found 104 survivors. Google this. It's out there. I will put a link in the description. So, distraction? I believe so. And that's not the only thing that they're distracting it, using it as a distraction from. There are other things. All the politics in the United States, okay, not a political show, just a point of fact, a point of interest. And who all's here? Okay, I just want to welcome to the chat Samo, Goophonian Rockstar, Intergalactic Angler, Tim Freestone, Jeanette Angel, LA Moon. And I think that's everybody right now. I'm expecting a few people because it's an early show and not everybody can make the Saturday show because, well, they got better things to do live, which is fine. And I think that's everybody here right now. And Tim Freestone, hey. Welcome back, everybody, to the Quantum Show, tackling a more recent topic, but also the people on board that submarine. I've said what I said, right? The people on board that submarine, I've got bios on my computer up right now. I will try to share, right? That's me sharing the screen. And that's me about to share the screen. So, yeah, it's just one of the things you got to do that I got to do. I figured out how to make it work. Now, these are searches that I have done. And all these people, now, someone come up to me and say, only one person was a space person. He was only involved in a SETI research for a short time. I'm like, hold on a second. They were all into, let me tell you, okay, all right, let me break that down a little bit. One person was a SETI person, understood. However, the billionaire world, the elite world, is not segmented like the world outside elite world. Okay, you don't have a field of study. They're not all Elon Musk, and they're not all Jeff Bezos. Okay, they're not all that. They don't do that. Those are the headliners that everybody looks at, right? Because they do the most outrageous stuff, and space travel, really, right? Making their own rockets, etc., that kind of thing. Well, what about some other elites, right? Y'all familiar with horse racing, horse trading? That's an elitist sport. Where are they at? Not in the news. Okay. How about, let's see, there was, well, the horse people come to mind because I literally live down the road from some rich horse people, and I know lots of them around here. I'm in Tennessee. I mean, we got horses, you know, they're not in the news. Horse racing. Did y'all hear about the 12 horses that mysteriously died right before the race, and there were very few entries? How's that work, right? Little pocket storm in a teacup, what they say, right? But yeah, not all elites are in the news about stuff. These guys are, right? Now, they're also, now the horse people, they do their thing, but they're not as specialized, right? Okay, when I say elites in the news, I mean the ones that are trying to change public policy. Bill Gates, right? The ones that, you're a computer guy and you're an entrepreneur. Why do you care about farms and medical industry? Get out of it. Make Windows better. Oh boy. He's one. He's one, okay, that is in the news, is in the limelight, doing all that stuff. Now, these space people, these people that were in that submarine, right? Let me go over the names right now. I was sent an article on Facebook. Thank you, Don Cosa, from NPR. What we know about the 5 men aboard the wrecked Titan sub. These were highlights of their bios, okay? Share the spirit of adventure, a deep passion for exploring. Okay. Protecting the world's oceans. I don't think so. Okay. Protecting ocean. They didn't care about that. They don't care about protecting the oceans. They care about doing what they want to do at the expense of everyone and the ocean. All right. Now, I'm not slamming them. I'm just telling y'all what the deal is and what we know of the deal. People who say, Bill Gates, again, yeah, I will pick on Bill Gates all day long. Okay. Bill Gates has a private jet and has all these cars and does all this stuff. And yet he says his carbon footprint is zero. How does that work? Because he pays people to offset that. It's a cheat that the rich people can do that they make us feel guilty for. They pay people to say, clean up a different part of the environment away from them, not their own jet. Hey, Bill Gates, you wanna make a statement? Get one of them electric planes that people are talking about. Do one of them. You know, the one with the square engines. Very interesting. Make that work. Carbon zero. Oh, I could go on. Okay. Okay. Anyway, back to the sub, the submersible. Okay. Hamish Harding. I'm reading from an NPR article. Let me see if I can share this screen, right? I'm going to try to share this screen. Let me just get off of Facebook because it butters everything up. Let's see. Shares. Hold on. I got to. No. All right. Hang on. Hang on. I'm working on it. It's lots of button pushing over here, okay? And let me see here. Well, I said Alt Tab. All right. Present, share screen, and all right. I think this would work. Yeah. Now, this is the DuckDuckGo search that I did, right? Now, I'm going to bring up Hamish Harding. Here's the NPR article, right? Harding was the chairman of Action Aviation. Aviation, all right? Any aviation has their hand in aerospace. I work in aviation. I don't have a direct hand in aerospace, but it happens down the line because those are big money people. Those are elite people, and they're not all in the United States. I'm not talking about just Boeing and Northrop Grumman. I'm not talking about just those guys. There are so many of them, right? Fastest flight around both Earth's poles in 2019. Okay, great, right? Now that's what he did. Now another one was Hamish Harding. He may not have been directly involved in space stuff, but when you are in aviation, you're indirectly involved. He had an interest, even if it was just a T-shirt, right? He had an interest. And I will wrap that up at the end of this little talk. It's not going to take a whole hour. This is just a splash, if you would. Okay. Longest duration of full ocean depth crowded vessel. Okay, that. Shahzada Dawood from Pakistan. He was from Pakistan, but he lived in California. Okay. He was from, okay. He lived in California. Served on boards including SETI Institute, NASA-funded nonprofit. That is an oxymoron, okay? NASA-funded nonprofit is an oxymoron. If you got NASA funding, you are getting paid. That's it, right? Okay, and then Suleiman, his son, right? And then, okay, Suleiman, his son, was there with him. And I think he might not have been strictly a space person, but yeah, he was there. But okay, just saying. Stockton Rush, Ocean Gate, hands down, Atlantis. He was interested in Atlantis. Yes, okay. British businessman, service organization CEO, Ocean Gate, submersibles. And now I can relate this to Richard Branson, because he also does that, or he was doing it. I stopped following it, Virgin Galactic, okay? And I'm sure they bumped elbows at the elite Kroger somewhere, right? The elitist Walmart. What do they call that? I don't know. And jet transport, he was big. And okay, Nargalet. He knew of stuff, but he wasn't involved in it. He was in the Navy, French Navy. He was, okay, commander in the French Navy, retired in 86. And, okay, I do believe he had the ocean in his blood. However, I feel this is an Atlantis connection. I do. I just do, right? And he was all about the Titanic for a while. Lived in Africa. Hello, there's an Atlantis connection, okay? And so much of what we know about Atlantis involves being in the ocean because the name alone, right? And those are the guys, okay? And I can't shake how this was so put on the news in the mainstream when it was a tiny event, okay? Such a tiny event. This article was updated today at 12:59 Eastern time this afternoon. All right. And I just can't understand why it was put in the news, because unless it was used as a distraction. And yeah, all the elites, let me tell you right now, all the elites know what all the other elites are up to, because they pick on each other, they tease each other, and they brag to each other. I've hung around these people, I've worked for these people before directly. That's what they do. You will hear them on the phone talking about what they're doing and how much better they are than their other friends to their friends. Go listen in on some time. Go mow somebody's yard that's rich. You'll hear them talking, okay? And they do. It's a whole different world that they live in. They don't think they live on the planet with us, because they can buy their way out of everything from carbon footprint, where they give us hell about, to recycling plastics that we catch hell about, to fuel efficiency that we catch hell about. Hey, Kathy, welcome back to the Quantum Show. And I'm just going over, I have gone over these guys. It's only been 15 minutes, and every article I'm reading, all right, I'll go ahead and just stop sharing this. Every article I'm reading is talking about how the sub broke, what they do, how they do it, and that's all. That is the mainstream coverage of this stuff. Okay, Derek, we're all rich at the Quantum Show. We have reality plus some. And okay, now I'm reading the chat. Now I'm reading the chat. All right, let's go through. Right, the elites. I think you're talking about the elites. Uh, 168,000 for a seat on that submarine. Yeah. Okay, let me just go back. And let's see. Okay, Josh Gates. He was probably one of those that was bragging, that says, "Oh, I've been on so much better submarines. I've been on so many better submarines. You should see Branson's submarines. I can imagine." Okay. I think Raven's here. Hey, Raven. Okay. And see, this is what I like to do. I like to interact. And it is sad in a way. Okay. It's sad because they failed. However, why is this incident being used as a cover? Why is this being brought up so much? Right? And there's so much coverage. What else is going on? Look over here. Don't look over there. Look over here. Don't look over there. What are they covering up? Other than that, the ship that I read about, of the, was it 600 or 800 immigrants, and only 100 were recovered. Okay, basic regulation. I'm thinking you're meaning of this type of thing. There's a ton of regulation, okay? And it starts at the material level. And when they say they were using exotic materials for new parts, the exotic materials only, the context is lost, right? The exotic of that material, not as a sub. It may have been used as an aircraft thing, a construction thing, a house building thing, uh, a lot of different things. That's what they mean by experimental, exotic, not used in this capacity. I mean, I've had to learn these terms in my own life of doing stuff, right? That's what exotic materials doesn't mean made from space. It just means never used like this before. And there's a lot of context being lost in the mainstream, because they just don't want, they want the flash, the jazz of a story, in order, I think, to distract everyone. Let's see here. Yep, 168,000. That's being an elite, Derek says. But there is a lot of regulation on that stuff. And Well, yeah, it only has to meet a few requirements. Boats, uh, things that go in water are much like things that go on the road. It depends on who's licensing it, permitting it, and you do have to have stuff, but you have to have like a captain's license, but that's not hard to get. It's, um, I'm not sure about maritime stuff, right? It's like owning and running a car. A lot of it is like that. And let's see here. Somebody's talking about Target and Walmart, Target versus Walmart. Yeah, I don't trust them either because they're not. You talk about the elites, they're not for our best interest. They don't care about. They think more about society when they don't have the mindset or the power, the ability to think of society. It's hard to do that. It really does take someone who is neutral to think about how to run a society. It's not like running a Facebook group, not like running a department store chain. It isn't like that. And let me see, I'm looking at, let's see, keeping it quantum. I was at Rich's show tonight. He was talking about some stuff that I want to talk about too. Not so much ufology perspective, but the quantum reality perspective. And yeah, keeping it quantum. Let's see. I'm reading the chat. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm almost caught up in the chat, and I have more topics to go on. But what are the distractions that they're saying don't look at by looking at this submarine? Okay. And Destic, thank you for coming by the Quantum Show and Raven again. Let's see, Tim, Derek. I'm looking at the, yeah. Oh, I heard about this. I don't know. We cannot, it's so hard to get accurate information about that stuff going on over there. I mean, I'm not saying this is wrong. I can't, there's no way to verify it. I can't tell because everybody's got an agenda. Everybody reporting on it has an agenda. And let's see. Chat almost caught up, y'all. Okay, I think I'm caught up now. Okay, I think Kathy had to leave. Catherine had to leave. Yeah. All right. Thanks for coming by, Catherine. Have a good one. And let's see. All right. So these guys, the elite world is a way different world. You have to have experienced it. It is so different. They do not think like us. They make jokes about it. And we get to joke about a millionaire takes their Mercedes Benz to a New York pawn shop and says, hey, I need a loan for $5,000. I will give you my Mercedes Benz as collateral. He goes, sure, here's $5,000. There's going to be a service charge, a prepayment service charge, because you have 90 days to pay this off. And there's a service charge of $25 to pay it off early. That's with interest. And she goes, okay, I'll take it. Gives them the car. They take it to the back they lock it up and in a covered garage, right? And in a week, well within 90 days, in a week, the person comes back, the millionaire comes back and says, here is the 5,000 plus the service charge. I would like to get my car back, please. And they start the process of getting them the car back. And the person at the desk says, hey, you didn't need this $5,000. Why did you get this? He goes, well, I had to take a trip to Paris for a week. And where in New York can I park my car for a week for $25? See, they think like that. They think like that. And that is one example of how elites think. And that's one joke, right? Joke, not a joke. So the elites that were on that sub, what were they into that they had to be either taken out Now, the possibility still remains that it was an accident. It was a catastrophic failure, but the possibility remains, right? However, these guys were all very seasoned, and especially the captain of the sub, the Ocean Gate guy, very seasoned at what they do. They knew how to operate this thing. This was not a new build. These guys had been using this thing to go to the Titanic and elsewhere, wherever that may be, for several years now, right? It has been down there a lot. It's not new tech. It's not unproven technology. It's they're good at it. So what happened? And okay, who wanted them taken out? What were they into to want them to be taken out? Were they just taken? Because I maintain no bodies, no death. They haven't found bodies. They haven't found material. True ROVs, remote operated vehicles, robots, are the only things going down there, plus giant subs, and they don't have very good eyes on them to look at something like that, right? Okay, were they taken? Did they did they leave the sub, right? Let me see here. Let's see here. What if they bumped into something that ripped them eventually, resulting in the failure of the hull? Eventually or suddenly? Because suddenly they found debris. They did find debris. And I have to reread that last text. They did find debris. And I think you mean not eventually, but suddenly, like something, right, that could have happened too. But then again, the rover should have found some sort of, they were wearing clothing. They had instruments on them, watches. They were wearing stuff. Where's that? It went with them. Where is it? Now, I will back off if we find bodies, evidence of bodies. But until then, I have to say, what is going on behind this stuff, right? There was no body, no death. I'm sorry. That's court of law, okay? Suspect, if there is no body, then there is no murder, there is no death, there is no crime. Just a missing person, MIA. So I have to ask that. And right, they intergalactic. I have not been able to find where that recording is. I have not been able to see a report of the recording. I heard, the last thing I heard was there was no record of the explosion. And also, right, Samo, there's a bigger picture at play. At the least, distraction. At the most, what were they into? What were they so into? What were they aware of? What were their investments? Okay. Now, I'm not speaking ill of the dead, but this is investigative, right? I'm not an investigative journalist. What were their investments? Who were they supporting? Who was supporting them? What team were they on, right? What were they? Oh, what I brought them up earlier. Elon, Jeff Bezos, and Bill Gates, right? Were they buddies? Were they not buddies? Were they at odds with each other? Those are good questions, I think. It would be nice if we were to find some of that stuff out, you know? Because no, they did nothing wrong according to the reports of the submarine stuff. But what were they into, you know? It just seems highly suspicious to me that these guys who were billionaires, and I guarantee you they were into something. We just don't know because they keep their stuff close to the cup too, you know? What were they into? Who knows? And okay, Who would want them gone, or who would want them to be with them, that they have to be dead to be part of? To me, that screams Area 51, but don't know, right? This just something is quantum rippling that is not all there in the reports. Mainstream, don't trust them. They don't trust them. Don't trust them at all. I don't. And yes, Samo, it does take a teaspoon of water to drown. Correct. Because that's the physicality of it. No debate there. Because they were not in the know, intergalactic. Why would they keep looking if they already knew? What else was going on? Right, that's a good question, right? If you mean after they already knew and they still went, because they're looking for bodies. First, practical, looking for bodies, looking for evidence of something, what was said before, something hit them or something damaged them. And yeah, that's good. That's good. Why would they want to keep all those ships searching after they already knew what happened? What else is down there other than looking for proof of death, right? That is the practical answer. That's the investigative muggle answer. What else? What were they up to, right? What were their investments? What were they into aside from this? Okay, it's been half an hour for that. Like and subscribe. If you're here, you're quantum. And like Amy said she might stop in tonight. If Amy says, like Amy says, how did you find yourself here? How did you, in the YouTube algorithm, find yourself here? You know what I say to that? Tastes like disclosure. Also, yes, Lynn, looking for the cause of the accident. Like someone said before, what if something outside force damaged the hull? Because this was a known good vehicle. What if something hit them? What if something broke the sub that they were in? It could be faulty equipment, but these guys knew what they were doing. And I want to know more. Okay. Not necessarily. Yes, there is damage. There would be damage, totally. But I'm not so sure that there would be no evidence. Bone matter, right? The bones would do something. Okay, the bones would be there. The bones would survive. And yeah, been to Antarctica twice. Exactly. Atlantis link right there. Atlantis, Antarctica. They're the same thing, right? And pancake type of damage. Well, not with bones. Let's find some bones. And they can do the same thing. There are ways to find remains in water, right? Even salt water. Pancake type of damage. Well, it's more like shrinking damage. I read about the column of ocean that would be so many pounds psi on all surfaces in evenly, so it would compress everything like that. Okay. Oh yeah, this is, I don't know, being billionaires. Would the search effort be for comic books? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. They wouldn't do that. What was on the sub? What readings were being taken? And yeah, definitely. There is a space connection. He wasn't a space person in public. There's a space connection right there. Bezos knows something's going on too. He's in the know. Bezos, freaking Elon Musk, They say, okay, Bezos, Amazon, he has a rocket. He's a space person. Elon Musk, he makes cars and used to own PayPal. He makes rockets. He's a space person. Bill Gates, I don't know if he's done anything publicly with rocketry or that, but he's involved. Okay, he's involved. Well, people tend to float away, he said. Oh, I'm not forgetting Branson. Branson is his own deal. He has tried his best to make his own deal. You know, Branson, the Virgin Galactic guy, right? You know, he has done cell phones, airlines, cargo and people, underwater tourism, space tourism, and just a whole bunch of stuff over in Europe. He's got a ton. His portfolio is enormous, and they're not all failures either. Okay. Thank you, Samo. And yeah, see, I have an inherent distrust for everyone who owns everything. Okay. They own everything. So why would I trust them? Just because they own it? You know what? Somebody owned the Killdozer, and he didn't kill anybody, but he wrecked the infrastructure. Good on him. Know the backstory. And I also don't know. Oh, too many conspiracies are showing to be true. So I can't say this isn't another one. And it's not originating with me. Because if I can think of this, at least a million other people can think of this. And it's not born of spite or distrust or suspicion. It's not born of that stuff. It's just the way billionaires do. What do you think, Amy? Let me know. I'm going to have some disclosure. All right. Well, now that I have covered that, I leave it to everyone to think about it and draw on the unknown, tap into the quantum, find out what you can find out, because I just know that there's something else there. The next thing I wanted to talk about, and this is more up our alley, Schumann resonance. Y'all heard about this, right? It changed, and it was maintaining a new set of frequencies. Well, let's see what happened. I heard about this. I was listening to Rich and Amy. All right. It was a lab in Russia. Now, that's just the fact of it. I'm not saying Russia bad. Russia had anything to do with sabotaging the Schumann resonance. No. It was a lab in Russia. And it was one of several labs that had this anomaly. And okay, I read another thing saying it was a mistake. Someone had something go wrong in that lab, and it changed the resonance readout. So it was a mistake. The resonance has not changed amongst the other labs that do it. But look what happened. It got put out there, and people made it change, made reality change. Look at everything going on in the past since that was a thing, right? Since the Schumann resonance, we manifested change because someone told us we're in a new world, expect big changes, and we made it happen. Big changes are happening right now. Okay. I could go on about all the big changes. I'm talking personal. I go with personal experience. I'm having big changes, right? And it's to the bone core soul density changes, right? The show will stay, but life is changing, and we manifested that. And it wasn't everyone. It was a few, and it rippled out. That's manifestation. That is how it's done. And that's what CE5 is about. And that's what people say. Greer said they need 10% to where they can make a big change. We did it. Schumann resonance. Maybe that wasn't, maybe it didn't make 10%, but things changed. Things are still changing. And ripples in a pond, okay? Schumann resonance, it went out on the mainstream. Everything's changing. It's up to us to make it the good change and not the bad change. Okay, that's what I was talking about, right? And okay, and earlier, and the Schumann resonance, I had a feeling because see, when you have a detection station, be it radio, space weather, solar, neutrino, whatever, right? You need to have more than one because you need to verify or troubleshoot whatever that is saying. And the Schumann resonance, one of over 100 stations monitoring it, one had that thing happen. Well, one is an anomaly. Two is questionable. Three, take a look at it, reevaluate. We only had one. As far as I know, we only had one. If anybody can tell me they had one, more than one, please let me know. Right. Okay, Tim. Yeah. Tim, I think it has something to do with that thing that Eric Heckler talked about in the Antarctic on Disclosure 2.0 with Dr. Eric. Yes. The connection. Bingo. There's connection. And thank you, Samo. Remember to hit like and subscribe. If you're here, you're quantum. And you're right. It was an error. It was an error. One lab out of over 100, it was an error. But the idea persisted. Life imitates art. That was kind of cute looking to me. You know, the picture of the Schumann resonance where it went from one to another. That was pretty cool looking, like art. Well, life imitates art. We manifested it. It's out there. Change is happening. On your personal levels, right? Look at your personal levels. How many kinds of changes is that? I don't mean somebody moved the coffee maker at work, okay? I mean, your positions changed, or so. Hell, look at work, okay? Yeah, when I said that a second ago, one is an anomaly. Two is questionable. Three, examine because it may be a pattern. Bingo again. And yeah, that's just it's too cool. We just have to make a common mistake and then people make it a reality, right? The Schumann resonance is a great example because what happened? It was a mistake. It made big headlines because it's really weird because it's nature of reality stuff. And then people come and they say, oh, the world is changing. So they start looking for change. They're expecting change. That's manifestation. And they did it. It happened. It's happening. And the waves haven't stopped. Watch out. The waves we're still riding the waves of manifestation and change from the Schumann accident, right? I'm calling it the Schumann accident of 2023. 2023 is still, 2023 is still happening. It's still charging and the changes are happening. And unlike waves in a pond, the waves go backwards. So look at the year before. Look at the month before the Schumann thing, right? And yeah, it's quantum. They go backwards. They don't just go forwards. It's hard to think about that. It's hard to think of the present affecting the past, but it does. It really does. And okay, and something I saw this on Rich's show a little while ago. Rich's show just let out less than an hour before mine, right? That disclosure tastes great. Thanks, Amy. He was talking about Avi Loeb, right? Now, Avi Loeb is in the limelight for ufology right now, right? And he's talking about, he went on the ocean floor. Funny how everybody's focusing on the ocean, isn't it? Isn't it? Am I the only one to notice that a lot of people are looking at the ocean as well as space? Interesting. Okay, they found spherical particles on the ocean floor that are harder than iron. I would like to know, okay, I have to debunk. Right? A needle, he said he found a needle, and very tiny spherical metallic, ferrometallic things that stuck to the magnets. What battles were fought in that area, World War I, World War II? Can we look up the because, I mean, we cannot rule out that it's us, right? Y'all, do you know what a shot tower is? A shot tower. Okay. To make cannonballs, right? What they used to do is they had towers, and they needed them round as they could get them. Well, it's really hard to do that in the Dark Ages, Middle Ages, right? Now, you have a shot tower. They had this tower. It was so tall, okay? It was so many feet tall, so many stories tall. And they had a forge at the top. They would take metal up there, melt it down into slag, and then take it and measure out how much they needed and drop it down the center of this hollow tower. And it would fall and it would form a sphere, okay? And it's hot and molten. But by the time it got down there, it was no longer molten. It was still hot. And it would hit the ground and it would keep its spherical shape. That's a shot tower, okay? I saw this in a movie where to make shotgun beads, they would melt aluminum and other metal and drop it into a bucket of water or a pitcher of water. And it would cool as it went down and it would form a little ball, because that's the most aerodynamic shape, aquadynamic shape, to make it through the medium of the water in the air, right? Okay, he found microscopic bits of metal, magnetic. What battles were fought in World War I and World War II in that area? Same reason, right? If something blows up, gets hit by white phosphorus or something, right? Not white phosphorus, but things that don't stop burning. They stay hot, right? It stays hot, right? What metal could have been blasted to slag, fallen down, and fallen straight down and become those tiny spheres? Okay, how could that have happened? In the needle? No telling. I need more information on the needle that he found. So that's what I would like to know from Avi Loeb. Rich doesn't like his work. He thinks he's wasting everybody's time. Avi is making a hobby of it, and everybody's going along because he's, I don't know, exotic sounding, I guess. And yeah, he's very enthusiastic, and enthusiasm catches everybody. You see somebody that's excited, you tend to get excited about something that you're already into, like ufology. And yeah, I need more information. Has he considered these things? The shot tower hypothesis. Okay. I would like someone to pass that on to Avi, because he don't listen to me. If you can, pass it on to Avi. What the shot tower hypothesis? Okay. Man, I'm coming up all cool words this time. Today is all kind of cool words. And intergalactic, no, it was not a yellow submarine. The Beatles were not involved. Yeah, I'm okay with some of the jokes because they were elitists that kind of excluded themselves from everybody. So, I'm trying a different kind of coffee. I went to this international store, and this is uh, Jacobs. It's really good. I had it in Germany one time. It's so good. But they brew it differently in Germany, and this is done like I do it here. Not the Mexican stuff that I usually get. I really like the Mexican stuff by Nestle. It's really good. So I wanted to go over to Las Vegas, revisit it again, but I don't need to. So many people have gone over it. I will touch on that just a little bit. I think it was part of the fall. I think it's part of the false flag, right? Yes, the kid and the family did see something, did have something go on, but I think they were being misled. Okay, I think it's part of the narrative because it had the same stink about it as the story of the submarine. Look over here. Don't look at whatever else is going on, right? And awakening with JP, or waking up with JP, awake with JP, I forget. He touched on it. It's like it was distracting from the politics of the United States. We got a lot going on over here, unfortunately. But I do think that the Las Vegas incident 2023, I think it was part of the false flag. I think they were being deceived, not by neighbors, but by a bigger entity, like the government, the CIA, something like that, FBI, maybe, or Arrow. I don't know. All these space people want to run the game, but we know you cannot run the quantum game. Hey, Brett S., thanks for coming by the Quantum Show. Bob Perkins, I'm just seeing y'all come in. Awesome. Yeah, thanks, guys. And hit like, okay, I got to say, hit like and subscribe if you're here, you're Quantum. Me and Amy are having cups of disclosure, one after the other. And hey, check it out. What I want to do, you know my show logo? What I want to do is I want to make a sticker about yay big, put it on the bottom of the cup. And when I do like this, you see Quantum Show. See? It'll say Quantum Show right there. I think that's a good idea. And it's just perfect on the bottom of Amy's mug. This is not Amy's personal mug. Just so you know, I didn't take Amy's personal mug. I like to think we like each other better than that, than to take each other's drinkware. I bought this. It's spare. It's okay. Because the bodies, the documents, the craft, tastes like disclosure. Oh, I love that commercial. I actually made her a commercial. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about Las Vegas. And there's going to be more events like this because they don't want you watching our political scene. They don't want you watching the world scene because rich people are getting away with literal murder. Okay. And I love how they just, I have to go back to this. Things that aren't, but are related to each other. I have to go back to this. The food processing plants. I got a post removed saying the food processing plants weren't involved with each other that burned down, right? When I first saw that, all the headlines say food processing plant in Ohio, Idaho, Missouri, wherever, right? They were all burning down. You know what the subline of that was? Not related to the other food processing plant. What? Not related? You're telling me they're not related? That's for the muggles. Of course, if you're going to say not related, it's going to make me think they're related. Duh. So why would you say that? Unless that's what you want me to think. Mainstream news? And a fire in a barn kills 10,000 animals? How big was this fire? Was it a fuel air bomb explosion? How come no people were killed? Huh? 10,000 cows? Do you know how big an area to house 10,000 cows is. Let's stack them on top of each other. Let's make them 5,000 cows with one on top of the other. Let's make it 4 on top of the other, right? That's 2,500 cows. 4 tall, 2,500 wide, right? Oh, excuse me. 4 tall, 1,450 wide. How big is 1,000 cows? Then stack them on 1,500 cows. Stack them. Who can believe that? Who can believe that was okay? That was not intentional. 10,000 cows in one fire? Give me a break. Oh my God. Do you know how, just the physical area, you know how the kind of area that one cow takes is that of a small car, okay? So imagine 10,000 Hyundais all burning to death, right? One cow. Okay, let's be even more. One Kawasaki Ninja is one cow, right? 10,000 Kawasaki Ninjas all in one place. First, how the fuck you fit 10,000 Kawasaki Ninjas in one place and they all catch on fire at the same time? Okay? Imagine a cow is like a Kawasaki Ninja. You're the motorcycle, right? Hyundai was a little bit too forgiving because Hyundais are bigger than cows, but not much, right? But Kawasaki Ninja motorcycle, let's say a big 2000 or 1900 cc. How big are those motorcycles? Can you imagine? That's a cargo ship full of motorcycles, okay? And all of them burned up at one time. Horse shit. That's what I say. I say that was just, yes, a cow is a bike. A cow is a bike. Equivalent to the space of one Kawasaki Ninja. How big is a cow? Now, how do 10,000 cows die in the space of 10,000 Kawasaki Ninjas? Imagine, we can't, not everyone can think of a cow, but everyone can think of a motorcycle, right? And yeah, how do 10,000 die, right? At one time from one fire. And okay. Now let's question that some more. Okay. This was a monetary investment in some, let's say, farmers or elites, maybe. Was this an insurance scam? Because what about the sprinklers? What about the fire suppression systems? All right. And fire suppression systems are designed to suppress fires. Why do we need to spell this out for people? Okay. Did they not have sprinklers? Did they think that they were going to damage the cows by getting them wet? How did 10,000 cows die in one fire? Okay. That is a cargo ship full of cows, right? 10,000 cows, take one Kawasaki Ninja. That's about the same size as a cow, right? 10,000 ninjas. What a keyword. 10,000 ninjas. Whew. There would be smoke inhalation, yes. One fire, though. Sprinkler system, fire suppression, right? The food industry is a huge investment. Let's go with, okay, 10,000 cows, right? One fire. What caught on fire? I want to know what the investigation says. And how do 10,000 of them die, right? Do you know how much room that would take? I mean, just to stand them in a field, 10,000 wide, that's like, how many auditoriums worth of space is that? It's in acres. How many acres worth? 10,000? Okay, Frank is saying smoke inhalation. Yes, that can hurt. That can definitely kill an animal. But 10,000 of them? I don't think it's 10,000 of them. I do not believe the mainstream. Yeah. Yeah, and whoops. And now they're making artificial meat. Why? Why are they making artificial meat? I think we've we've got this down to a good, acceptable method, but we need to fix our chicken processing. That's bad. We need to fix our chicken processing. That's for sure. So yeah, okay, distraction, and there's an ulterior motive going on somewhere. All right, all right. I have covered. I've managed to stay on topics. I have talked about the lost sub and my suspicions and why I want there to be investigations into these people, right? What they were into, who their friends were, what their investments were, who were investing in them, right? Because it's all wrapped up. The Schumann resonance and manifestation. The Schumann resonance was told to be changed, and we changed life. Check your own life. See what changes happened recently and shortly before, like up to 6 months or so. What happened? Avi Loeb talking about particles on the ocean floor. I think he's too hopeful, right? I'm going down the list now. I think he's a little too hopeful for it to be something weird when it could be something not weird. It could be us from World War II, because the ships that got blown up, shot up, and not even sank, right? Just pieces of the ships, right? It's hot metal going straight down, Shack Tower hypothesis, okay? And Las Vegas Revisited, I think it was a scam. I think it's part of a large scam. I think it's part of this false flag alien invasion. And food processing plants. What was that all about? 10,000 ninjas, okay? How this has been the first hour of the Quantum Show. I hope everybody had a good time. I went over these things. Please, if you're here, you're Quantum, like and subscribe. If you heard anything and would like to discuss it further, leave me a comment after the show, okay? I will try to leave links in the description. I know I have mentioned Amy and Rich and several topics, so I will try to leave links in the description. I will be coming. Yeah, it's been an hour. It's been a little over an hour and 1 minute, hour and 2 minutes. Sorry. Yeah, this was a high energy show, man. This coffee. Sheesh, is it the coffee or is it the cup? I don't know. It's doing it to me, but we went on. We zipped along. This has been awesome, guys. Okay, it has been an hour. The first hour of the Quantum Show is away. I will be taking a break, making more of this coffee, and be back in just a little while. Links will be passed out to people who are hopefully going to be here for the Quantum panel, and how Amy put it, the Quantum review. I like that. Okay. And I will talk to y'all soon. Keeping it Quantum, and back after a break.